The best way you can support me is with a simple subscribe. Subscribe to my channel for more content like this. All right, Mr. TALIAFERRO TV, how's everybody doing? All right, this is going to be a pretty long piece. I'm not going to lie to you guys. We're going to cover a lot. Let me just start here. When I stepped into this lane and I took on the responsibility of anything that comes with this career path, I knew what I was signing up for, 100%. Let's just make this clear. I've sat down and I've thoroughly thought through what comes with this lifestyle, and I want you to know I've thoroughly thought through this life, this path. I had a lot of other options. Trust me on this, all right? I just want y'all to proceed with that and just know that, all right? Don't ever have sympathy for me. That'll make more sense later. Trust me on that. Also want you guys to know this. When a person says something is 100% fact, as a journalist, as this is my journalistic duty as a reporter, if I can tell you, if I look you guys straight up and down and say that's 100% fact, it's not because it's coming from a source. It's not because it's coming from a family member. It would have to come from the horse's mouth, right? Whoever I'm talking about, it would have to come from their mouth. Let me just throw out an example, right? Real quick. I don't know if LeBron James gets a divorce tomorrow. I just randomly threw something out, right? I would need to say, if I say it's 100% true, right? I would need to say LeBron told me that specifically. Now, I don't know LeBron James. I'm just saying. I usually use words like reportedly. And then I try to tell you guys when I'm telling you guys what's been confirmed by a source. I always use sources like TMZ, other major outlets, or anything. If it's something that I know personally, I'll tell you guys if, you know, this is something that I was told to me, sources close to the situation. That's what I owe you guys, because y'all deserve fact. All right. And we're going to get into something where I feel like the person, and we're talking about DJ Akademiks. And for those who don't know DJ Akademiks, he's pictured in that picture right there, alongside 2 Chainz and his co-host Nadeska, Joe Budden. All right, so let's nip anything in the bud right now. I'm not the guy who's going to be like, yo, I'm a growing reporter. I wanna beef with this guy. Not my lane. So I actually switch it out and do the opposite route. Let's make this clear. The lane that Akademiks provided has helped people like me out. Period. Because I was grinding, and I don't even care if it's Akademiks. I'll put my journey up with anyone's, right? I'll put my journey up with anyone's journey. I was the one in the clubs begging managers for looks. I put my journey up with anybody. So yes, I do feel like I have a better journey than Akademiks, anybody. As a young black reporter, I put it up with anybody's. Let's make that clear. But I also want to say Akademiks is somebody with the way we're getting news through YouTube and breaking news through YouTube and everything. That brother has created a lane. So I don't care what anybody else say. I'm going to forever. I've never talked to him, had a conversation with him. I'm going to forever be grateful for the lane that he's driven his audience to this. I want to hear news through YouTube. So powerful. It's afforded me the opportunity to pay my bills. More than pay my bills, grow my platform, to be able to go out in public and people know what I do. Incredible. So I'm always going to big him up for that. And I ain't got a hatred. Y'all know how I move. It just, if you want that hatred and beef for me, it's never going to be a case. Nobody on the internet can make me do anything I want to do. And I love what that brother has done with his platform. So salute to him. But we're going to talk about him on this particular instance. He dropped a video, and I'm not sure what he dropped it on. It just popped on like my home screen or something like that. And I don't really watch his content, not because I don't fuck with his content, but because I don't ever want his opinion. That's why I've kind of had to shy away from like guys like Charlemagne, DL Hughley, Steve Harvey, some of these guys where I'm a young person who I've in the past looked up to some of the things that they've stood for, but as their personalities, I got to get away from it because my opinion and their opinion, it can't ever connect. I want my opinion to be my opinion, right? So I don't really watch a lot of his content, but somehow it popped up on my screen, like the home screen. Y'all know how stuff like random stories pull up, and it was related to the Migos, Cardi B, and Nicki Minaj. So it pulled up. So I watched the video. I watched it, right? A few minutes ago. And Akademiks he told this story, right, about the Migos, Cardi B, and Nicki Minaj. So for those who don't know, the Migos put out a record. What has it been, like a few weeks? It's called Motorsport. Motorsport. All right, and we're gonna break down so much. The Migos put out this record, and Akademiks has been claiming, him and Joe Budden have been claiming behind the scenes. They've had sources on this one from Atlantic saying that this is a very odd record. The way it came out, the way everything has been behind it, Nicki and Cardi on the same record, the placement of Cardi and Nicki, Cardi's verse not kind of making sense in the context of Nicki's verse. They've went in on this conversation. I actually think they've talked about it entirely too much. And if this were men in the same position, I don't think this story would be as talked about. As I think Akademiks and Joe are going a little too hard on this one, because I watch Everyday Struggle. I like the content, right? I like the content. I think they're going a little too hard on this one. Like when I'm watching that Karen Civil interview, I think at Everyday Struggle, it's too much. They're going too hard on it. And again, it's just too hard on it. I don't think if this was two men dissing each other on the same verse, if the Control verse was out right now with Kendrick and Sean on it, I don't think they would have went as hard for this amount of time talking about this pillow, talking about it. I'm sorry. I just find that hard to believe. And I've talked about this record myself and how it's come about because it's hip hop news. It's the two biggest women in hip hop. I just think they're going too hard on it personally. So I'm going to try to tell you guys to the best of my ability this story that Akademiks told. His stream, I don't know what he was on. I think it might have been like a Twitch stream or something like that, whatever. And he told this story about how this Motorsports record came about. And I will admit this. It's un-Migos like how they dropped this record. The Migos don't do singles. They don't need to do singles. They'll put out records, but to officially announce a single, put some money behind it, like they're doing with this Motorsport, they don't really do that, right? We're used to the Migos coming up through the drop the tape and the fans pick the singles. That's how it's been with the Migos so far. Now, we do have to admit, because of Bad and Bougie and Culture success, the Migos are in a different space now. They're on Motown now. So maybe the Migos want to go a different route as how they provide music to the people. And also streaming is changing everything so much. Maybe the Migos do want to go a different route, right? And then I heard Kanye's producing this project entirely. They might want to go a different route. I'm not mad at that. But I'm just saying, as a fan of the Migos, last few years, we've never seen the Migos put a tape together like this, where they drop a single. It looks like they're going to wait a while before they drop Culture 2. We never seen that. We're not getting Culture 2 this year, right? So we're probably looking top quarter of 2018. You got people like Gucci. He's still dropping tapes, right? And the Migos, what? They haven't dropped anything since Culture 2, since Culture, right? Yeah, they haven't dropped anything. So this is un-Migos like, right? I will admit that. But Akademiks told this story, and I don't want to misquote him. So if anybody needs to correct me, please do so. He told this story about how this record came about. So he said pretty much it started with Nicki and Quavo in the studio. Nicki and Quavo were in the studio, and to the best of Nicki's knowledge, Quavo and Nicki were just going to do some records together, just the two of them, right? So they do a verse, and Quavo ends up putting the Migos on it. And this is where I disagree with Akademiks. We'll talk about it more after I give all the things that Akademiks said. Akademiks says that there is a record out there initially where Nicki Minaj is name dropping Cardi B. And he said it somewhere along the lines of Barty this, keep my name out your mouth, you number 2. Right? And I don't agree with that. I don't believe that exists. Now, Akademiks said that the record is out there. All right, he said that the record is out there, and we're going to hear it sooner or later. Where it'll be like it's never going to be released, obviously, because we'll get into it. It's never going to be released, though, right? And he said there's a record out there where initially Nicki was coming at Cardi's head, name dropping everything. All right, again, I don't want to misquote him on this story, so we'll continue on. Sum up a long story here. The Migos hop on the record. Cardi hears the record. Cardi's like, what the hell is going on? The Migos then make Nicki go, or Quavo makes Nicki do her 24 or whatever. It might have been a 24 over and or her 16 over, and it turns into a 24. And this is what Akademiks is saying. At that point, Nicki takes all the Cardi disses off of it, and that's why you hear the sublims, right? This is what he's saying. I'm just rolling with it for the story. He's saying, you know, I think the part is like, watch your mouth, watch your man, or something like that. There's initially, Nicki said Cardi's name. Now, I disagree with that because Nicki has never name dropped an artist, even in her worst of beefs. She's never name dropped like that, especially with a person that she quote unquote doesn't have beef with. I don't think that's true, right? And I gotta call Akademiks out on that one. We'll get to that towards the end. He also said after that, Cardi won it on the record. Offset was in a compromising position because it's like, yo, that's your girl. Offset's trying to explain to Cardi B this is best for business to have the Nicki Minaj feature on their lead single. When have the Migos ever needed a lead single? But I'll admit, just to play along with it, the rollout for this record has been un-Migo-like, right? And after that, Cardi hops on it. She tells them, nah, I ain't going I'm not going to be after Nicki on this record. Put me before the record. Put me before Nicki's verse. And that's why you have it. What is it? Quavo, then Offset, then Cardi, then Nicki, then Takeoff. And I'll be honest, if you do listen to that record without Cardi B on it, it does make a little bit more sense because Takeoff's verse it's literally a response to everything Nicki said. He's like saying, if I had Nicki Minaj, we'd be making hit records. So I get, if you literally take Cardi off the record makes more sense on the Motorsport record. All right, I'll admit that. But keep it moving. Akademiks said Atlantic Records got involved. He said Atlantic's then stopped clearing Nicki's record. That's why it took so long for like the Uzi record to get cleared. I'm not gonna say if that's true or not. That could be true. That very well could be true. Portions of the story could be true. He then said something along the lines, I want to make sure I get everything in it. He said Offset and Cardi were rocky, and it got to the point where Cardi said, if this record is coming out, I'm breaking up with you. And the hatred was never from Nicki. He was like, I was wrong about that. The hatred wasn't from Nicki. I thought Nicki was the one hating, but Cardi was the one that was initially that was upset about all this and how this record has rolled out. I find that hard to believe because Cardi just did an interview and she didn't have any problems with Nicki in it. She didn't big her up, but she didn't necessarily have any problems with Nicki in the interview. That's just what I've heard. Every time she's brought up Nicki, she's pretty much not said anything out of her way too nice, but never throw a shot or anything at her. You can take that with a grain of salt. But Offset was trying to save his relationship, and he had to go to Q and over at QC. I'm sorry, P from QC and Coach K. So many damn letters. And to get the correct clearances and then to get Nicki's verse redone because the initial Nicki verse was already done. That doesn't make sense to me. They had to go through some steps because he was about to lose his girl. He was about to lose his relationship, right? Then Akademiks claimed that, and let's go ahead and put these two on the screen, that he claimed that Offset and Cardi B's engagement was fake. All of it was fake. This is all a publicity stunt by the Migos and Cardi B to save face, to save image, because things have been played out so poorly, and they didn't want this Nicki Minaj, the real story, to hit the fan, where apparently Nicki Minaj threw shots at Cardi B with a name, and they're saying that this record does exist. Akademiks is saying that. Let me give him credit for that. And Offset and Cardi B's engagement is fake and it's for show. It's a facade. That's pretty much the gist of everything, right? Again, I gotta call Akademiks out on this. If you gonna go in that detail of the story, and I'm the reporter who's never like tell your sources. I'm sorry, man. I'm sleepy. You gotta tell something, man. You gotta be more. You gotta get an interview or something, man, because that's too personal. You calling somebody's engagement false. You're chastising someone's character. You're saying Cardi B's hating on Nicki. You're saying Nicki's threw shots at Cardi. Yo, my brother, you got a lot of power and pull with your platform. That's a lot just to be saying to somebody. That is a lot. And I'm not gonna lie, it's very irresponsible, man, if it's not the truth. And we'll see how this comes out. I've always admitted that the Motorsports record rollout was weird. I'll admit that. And could there be some truth in this? Yes, there could very well be some truth, and there could very well be some disdain between Nicki and Cardi as competitors. Cardi wants what Nicki got, maybe. Nicki doesn't like where she's headed in her career, trying to put this album together, and Cardi's buzzing, and Cardi's the one doing the late night runs on the late night television performing, and it ain't Nicki no more, right? And Nicki can, she just ain't got a lot of records out in the atmosphere, especially records that are her records, not a feature. So I'm not saying that there could not be something there, but I believe in my heart of hearts, because people and stories like what Akademiks just put in the atmosphere, I believe at some point soon Cardi B and Nicki Minaj are going to beef. It's inevitable. It's going to happen, man. And do I really believe they had some real hatred for each other initially? I don't know. I don't know. But I know it's going to happen now, because I see it. It's the same thing that happened with Remy Ma. The scenario is a little different, but it all comes back to people believing Nicki Minaj is hating again. Is she hating behind the scenes? Again, I don't know. And I have a source with the Migos. I have not utilized that source on this story yet. I'll make that clear, because this all just happened today. Like, Akademiks just said it today, I believe. I don't know if I'm gonna hit my source up with the Migos, because I don't have any sources for Cardi and Nicki. I don't have any Cardi and Nicki sources. I'll make that clear. I don't have any. I ain't that popping yet. I'm not gonna lie to you guys. I ain't that popping yet to have a source on Cardi and Nicki. I just met Cardi a couple months ago. I don't have any sources on Cardi, and I don't have any sources on Nicki yet. All right. I do got a Migos source. I have not utilized it yet. But this entire story is baffling, man. If it's all true, Akademiks swears by it. He said all that stuff was 100% factual, right? He put his career on the line for it. He said, if you trust me, you know. I hope my tenure giving you guys news means something to you guys, and I hope y'all trust me enough to believe what I'm saying. I find that hard to believe. The part that just is baffling to me, why would Nicki ever name drop Cardi B on a record? It's bad for business, number one. If she didn't do it with Remy on the No Frauds record, where Remy dropped Sheether a few days before that, why would she do it with Cardi, with somebody that she doesn't have beef with? That makes entirely no sense. So what was it, a record that was never supposed to see the light of day? She recorded it. I don't think Nicki would go in the booth and diss Cardi, who she did nothing but shout out on social media. It doesn't make sense, Akademiks. I'm sorry, my brother. I got a lot of respect for you. That doesn't make sense. Why would Nicki put a record out, as big of a pop star as she is, right, where she can continue to sublime diss somebody for the rest of her career? Why would she put a record out and name drop? It's bad for business. I'm talking about, people beef all the time. They're not going to name drop the person straight up. And if you say Barty, we all know you're talking about Cardi B. Hell, she calls her Barty, right? That doesn't make sense to me, and I don't believe that one bit. I got to call bullshit on that. Akademiks, I think that's utterly bullshit. And I can't believe you reported that, man. Talk to me in the comment box. A lot to consume right there. You calling somebody's engagement fake. I mean, you're saying Nicki Flatfoot had a record. I hope you got this record, man. You're going to need it. Your credibility is going to need this one. I'm not going to lie to you. That's rough, man. Talk to me in the comment box below. I find that hard to believe that there is a record out there where Nicki Minaj... I can't even get past the rest of the story, because I find it hard to believe that there's a record out there where Nicki Minaj used the name Cardi B and dissed the girl. That doesn't make sense to me. I'm sorry. I got to be moral. I got to be my morals. I got to put them first. That's probably not true. And if it is true, I'll get on this platform and apologize. I ain't critique or criticize anybody. I'm just saying, we got to, as reporters, we got to protect our field, man. And if anybody's coming for your field and they're doing it irresponsibly with the platform he's got to call it out. And I don't believe that, not one bit, man. And you know I'm not pro-artist. And I do believe there could be aspects of this story that are true from the standpoint of motorsports is weird. There could be some behind the scenes hating, but I can't even get that far, because the initial part of it saying Nicki has a record dissing Cardi B by name, I find that hard to believe. Subscribe to my channel for more exclusive content like this. Please leave your opinions on this long piece. I would love to hear. All right, I'm out.
I want to salute you, homie, for building your own thing and doing your own thing, creating your own platform, your own website.
I got one life to live out my dreams, and I'm giving this thing all I got. I interview celebrities. I talk sports. I represent the culture.
Right now you're turning up on MrTaliaferro.com, shawty. Yeah.